Hello everyone, welcome to my Emmerdale channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Emmerdale confirms very unexpected person who may destroy Celia. The net is finally closing in on the village's darkest secret. And Emmerdale has just dropped a massive clue that suggests a very unexpected resident is going to discover the truth about Celia Daniels. In scenes that aired yesterday, viewers witnessed a truly harrowing sequence as Beowulf was driven to a remote location by Ray Walters in the dead of night. The grim atmosphere set the stage for a horrific revelation. The pair had arrived on a piece of farmland that belongs to butlers and discovered Celia's sinister plan to bury a body there. To understand the full weight of this tragedy, we have to look back at how this nightmare began. Anna originally arrived in England via the back of one of Caleb Milligan's depot trucks. It was a chaotic discovery. When Caleb and Joe Tate discovered Anna in amongst the boxes, they were stunned. Caleb's immediate reaction was one of pure panic over having a stowaway, fearing the repercussions for his business above all else. However, as Caleb panicked, Ruby Milligan arrived and quickly learned of what was going on. This was a defining moment for Ruby's character. Ruby did not view Anna as a problem for Caleb's business or a legal liability. She simply saw her as a vulnerable young woman who really needed some help. Demonstrating a fierce maternal instinct, she took Anna back to Mill Cottage and gave her some food, adamant that she needed looking after. I think this scene was crucial in establishing Ruby as the moral compass in this specific storyline, contrasting sharply with Caleb's selfishness. While Caleb feared that Anna would be found by the police and he'd get into trouble, Ruby was certain they could dodge the authorities again. Unfortunately, the tension in the household reached a breaking point. Caleb and Ruby arguing over Anna made the terrified girl feel as though she wasn't welcome. In a heartbreaking twist of fate, she grabbed the very few items she owned and left. It is clear that Anna felt she was a burden, a decision that would ultimately seal her tragic fate. In the aftermath, Caleb tried to reassure a worried Ruby, saying that if Anna is anything like her, she'd eventually end up somewhere safe. These words now ring hollow and cruel. Sadly, that wasn't the case. We learned a few days later that Anna was captured by Ray and taken to Celia's farm after she departed Mill Cottage. Instead of safety, she found a living hell. She was then forced to continue her work as a slave, alongside Bear and a number of other vulnerable adults. The horror culminated when Anna died last Friday because she had sustained an infection. It is absolutely sickening to realize that Ray and Celia failed to get her the correct medication to treat it, allowing a young woman to die simply due to their negligence and cruelty. Bear then found Anna's body in the feed shed on Monday and attacked Ray in a state of anger over the disrespect. Bear's rage was palpable and entirely justified. He was the voice of the audience in that moment. Ray told Bear and the other slaves that they'd hold a funeral for Anna, which featured Bear digging a shallow grave and placing her body inside. It was a bleak, undignified end for someone who had fought so hard for a better life. However, amidst the darkness, a crucial seed was planted, as he delivered an emotional speech and reflected on Anna's life. Bear tied a red ribbon to a tree beside her grave. This small act of remembrance is not just sentimental, it is the smoking gun. The location of this item was highlighted again as today's episode opened. As Celia wandered afield with Moira Dingle, Natalie J. Robb, she was too busy trying to get her away from Anna's grave rather than take note of the ribbon that's still on the tree. Celia's arrogance is blinding her to the danger right in front of her eyes. This leads us to the most explosive possibility. Ruby knows about the ribbon that belonged to Anna. She saw it when she cared for the girl at Mill Cottage. This suggests she could be the person who finds her body. But what will lead Ruby onto Moira's farmland before she spots the ribbon? The pieces of the puzzle are scattering, but Ruby is the one person with the emotional connection to recognize the clue. Many fans of the ITV soap are hoping that Ruby will be the one who kickstarts Celia's downfall storyline. It would be poetic justice for the woman who tried to save Anna to be the one who avenges her.
Social media has been ablaze with theories. Please let Ruby find out at some stage that Rye and Celia are responsible for poor Anna's demise. The entire planet won't be big enough for Rye to run and hide. An audience member wrote on X, "If or when Ruby discovers the truth, her guilt over Anna leaving will likely turn into a rage that neither Celia nor Rye can survive. We can only hope that justice is swift."